Hi guys. So just to round off this week and what we've been talking about, I just want to tell you guys a story. So last week Saturday, right? I got sick. I had tonsillitis, and I've been getting tonsillitis almost every single month since for the last two years, right? I can't take them out, so don't say go and take them out because I've got a heart condition. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So anyway, I've got tonsillitis, and I went. So for it was a Sunday when I went to the doctor. Actually, Sunday or Monday. Anyway, one of those 2 days I went to the doctor. I decided, you know what? I'm not going to go to my usual doctor. I'm going to empower a new doctor. So I'm going to go to a new doctor. So I go to a new doctor, and I'm there explaining to this doctor that this is my problem, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been getting these tonsils every single month, and I need you to give me something that's actually going to work as quickly as possible because on the weekend I actually have a wedding, right? Okay, so this doctor gives me an injection and prescribes some medication for me. Okay, there I go home and I start drinking these antibiotics that this doctor has given me. And a whole week passes, guys, and these antibiotics are doing absolutely nothing. And usually antibiotics within the second day, they start to kick in and they start to actually work. So I'm like, yo, what's actually going on here? So eventually I pick up the phone and said Friday morning, because I'm worried about the wedding on the Saturday. I pick up the phone, I call my usual doctor. I get through to her. She's like, come through. Let's see what's actually happening. But you're going to need to go and see an ENT, which is an ear, nose, throat specialist. I'm like, okay, sharp. Bring the ENT with when I come to my appointment. She's like, okay, I'll have somebody on standby. I'll go see my doctor. I see the ENT. Now I'm paying a consultation for my doctor. I'm paying a consultation for the ENT, an emergency consultation as a matter of fact. So I'm like, okay, chill, that's fine. You know what? Because now I'm really ill and I'm really worried about my friend's wedding on the weekend. Let me go and see these people. So I go there. I pay the amount of money. I think I paid close to, 2.9 for both of those things. This is now without medication. I speak to the doctor. I say, this is the medication that the other doctor has given me. And she looks at me with these big eyes and she's like, I can't believe this. They've given you antibiotics for children. And with your history of rheumatic fever and rheumatic flu and your mitral valve prolapse, these are not the antibiotics that you should be getting given at any point in whenever you have tonsillitis. Even in just the slightest bit of tonsillitis, we need to give you the strongest antibiotics because your body creates a resistance. Now, the reason why I tell you guys the story is that my doctor did not misdiagnose me, the original doctor or the one that I went to on the weekend. But what he did is he misassessed my situation because he didn't ask me all the right questions so that he could make an informed decision. And that's what we also do with our financial situations. And what it ended up doing is that it ended up costing me a whole lot more money because now I needed to see another doctor who was just going to prescribe different antibiotics, but I had to see an ENT who's a specialist and pay the specialist that amount of money. So it's actually costed me quite a lot of money, not only money, but peace of mind and time, and I was in pain. So a lot of us, we misdiagnose our situations, our financial situations, or we don't assess them correctly. And sometimes when we go out and we look for financial advice and financial planners, or we look for financial advice, we misdiagnose ourselves because we go in there hoping that these people are going to give us their expertise and they're going to give us this amazing products that we can invest in or savings advice that we can save and we can make lots of money. But unfortunately, it's not as easy as that, right? And so whenever people ask me, can you tell me where to invest? Can you give me ideas of where to invest? I'm like, I can't. I honestly can't because I have not sat down with you and assessed your situation. And in any case, I'm more of a personal life coach as opposed to a wealth coach. I am not a wealth coach. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice. So it's very, very difficult for me to be able to do that. But here is my biggest problem. My biggest problem is that we as human beings love taking advice and we love taking guidance from people that should not be giving us any advice. And even if they are allowed to give us advice, we should be taking that advice with a pinch of salt. I find that people will take investment products because a friend or a family member has now started working in a financial institution and they need to reach their target. So you know what? Let me just sign up for this financial product. My friend, uyaloya na. My friend, uyadlala. You are playing with your own money. You cannot be helping somebody else reach their target and you think that you are investing and you are choosing financial investments based on the fact that you're helping your friend reach their target. No, guys, it's very, very important that you need to find tailored investments and savings plans for your own life. And that's why the other day I was saying, for me, it's better for me having to have bought a car before I bought a house, because at the point in my life that I was at, a car was far more important than a house, right? Because of the things that I was doing, a car was enabling me to be able to do those things. So when we give people blanket investment advice or opinions, we need to keep in the back of our heads to remember, Uguti, not everyone's situation is the same. So if you're going to go out and look for that kind of opinions or any information, you need to realize that you need to be able to give that person all your current situations so that they can give you a sound response in terms of giving you any sort of guidance or opinions, their financial opinion. Very, very important that you take every single financial opinion, advice, guidance with a pinch of salt, because it needs to be tailored for your life. It's very important. Just because we are now all investing in property does not mean you need to go invest in property, because it might not be the best vehicle for you to be investing. And also, it's very, very important that you think about these things very carefully, because a lot of us will try to invest for the future, which is great. Future planning is really important. It's at the top of my list. But you cannot be planning for the future, going through a miserable life of debt so that you can have money in the future and you can retire comfortably. Because you know what's going to happen is that your bad habits of bad debt management are going to catch up with you. And by the time your RA or your retirement fund or whatever, retirement annuity or whatever retirement plan you've put in place actually cashes out, all your debt is going to come through and take all that money. Now imagine you would have spent a life of trying to save money for your retirement, and then but in the same time, in the life that you're living, you're busy collecting debt, and that debt is going to chow up your money when your retirement annuity pays out or your retirement plan pays out at the end of your life or whenever you retire. So it's very, very important that we understand that you cannot invest and save if you have debt or if you have bad debt and you are managing it very badly, because then it defeats the whole purpose. The most important thing is to get rid of debt first, manage your good debt as best as possible, save for the future, but be able to manage your debt so that when your investments cash out, you're not going to be channeling that money to servicing a debt that is later in the future, because you don't want to pass it on to your children. Remember, the disadvantage of poverty will carry on if you are ranking up a lot of debt right now, because you've got a future plan for your money, but at the end of the day, when your money does come, we need to use that money to be able to pay for your debt. So it's very, very important that when you're looking at financial products, especially when you're speaking to a financial advisor, go to somebody, don't go to a broker who is just trying to sell you a product. They're trying to reach their target. They're trying to make their commission. They're trying to get rich on your money. They are future planning on your money, because you are ignorant enough not to know the right things to be looking out for, not to be looking for the right investments for your personal profile. It's very, very important that whenever you find a financial advisor, a financial planner, whoever you sit with to give you financial advice, you need to make sure that that person has gone through a proper financial assessment of your life. And by the time you actually speak to somebody who's going to be assisting you with your financial goals or your financial planning or your investment portfolio, make sure you've got your financial goals written down, your short term, your long term, and your mid term, so that you know what you want to achieve with your money. Because what a financial planner or advisor should actually be doing is showing you the vehicles that you need to use to move you from A to B. So they should be saying to you, if you need 10% growth over this amount of years, this is the vehicle that you should be using. That's all they should be doing. They should not be trying to actively sell you products. They should be trying to actively sell you the goal that you're trying to reach. That's what's important. So it's very, very important, guys, and I cannot stress this, that people should not come to us, or me specifically, I don't know about other people, don't come to me and ask me, where should I be investing my money? Because I cannot tell you on a one-time meeting you to say to you, this is where you should be spending your money. The only best way I can tell you is how I create my own wealth, which vehicle assessments I use, which vehicles I use for my personal life, and I'll show you how I do it. But I cannot sell you products. I cannot tell you which product, because I'm not interested in products. I'm far more interested in you understanding financial education and understanding financial literacy, so that you are able to make those informed decisions by the time you speak to somebody who is legally allowed to give you any type of financial advice or planning or guidance, that person is giving you the type of financial advice that you actually want to hear. And when you hear it, you will know it's the right advice for you, because you would have done your due diligence in knowing yourself and knowing the type of goals that you would like to reach, and you will then be creating a proper tailored investment portfolio for yourself. Mwah! It's Nicolette and I'm signing out.